How's it going, guys? I got the Nexus Powerstation here. Just wanted to talk a little bit about the ups and downs, some of the things people may not have considered. And just to get to the point of the video right off the bat, we're going to look at the standby power of the unit. So you've got, when you turn on the unit, you got 6 watts. And when you turn on the USB part of it, you got 7.2 watts. Now, that's great and all, but because you're talking about charging cell phones, that's going to put you at, these are 2.1 amp 5 volt outputs. Are not quick charge, or not high voltage, or not PD or anything like that. So you're not going to be charging at a high rate. So if you were just charging one phone, maybe you're only getting 8 watts or something out of it. Then you're literally only getting half the battery capacity that you could get if you were charging more efficiently. There's no particular reason why the unit needs to consume that much power in a standby. For example, the Ryobi 40 volt only takes 1.4 watts when the USB is turned on, and a lot of the batteries in the built-in batteries in the power stations, like the Blue Eddy, the EB3A, probably takes less than 1 watt on standby. So that is one of the major downsides in terms of efficiency. Obviously, that's not what this thing was designed for. It was designed to be powerful in terms of AC and also really good build quality, and it definitely achieved that. This thing has no problem starting my half horsepower Gould's well pump, which is 10.5 amps, but when it first kicks on, it's over 25 amps. And even with just 2 batteries in, this thing started that with no problem, and probably would have no problem with a 3/4 120 volt pump either. And I can't think of anything more beefy than that I would try to run. Maybe certain power tools, but I'm not even sure that there's certain power tools would even have a bigger spike than that. So that's pretty impressive. And that is the goal. So if you can do that, you could run your furnace, you can run all kinds of things. But the DC side is a little on the weak side, as you can see, and also the lack of it doesn't have PD, it doesn't have 12 volts, so you can't even expand to to insert like a 12 volt adapter that would have PD on it. PD is the USB-C multi-volt charging, so it takes that voltage and steps it up to 20 volts, and that allows a lot more watts to flow through a small charging cable, and ultimately, with these newer devices like tablets and things, that comes in really handy. Certain drone batteries also charge from PD directly. So also the lack of a 12 volt output will not allow you to charge drone batteries that way. You would have to go from the AC side. So you'd go from the DC batteries, well, probably from an AC charger to a DC battery to an AC output to a DC battery. It's kind of wasteful in that point. But if you can just go direct DC to DC, that's much better. Also, you have the AC adapter on here. It's 100, and I measured it at 135 watts, which is a pretty good rate, I think, for charging a battery this size. I think the fast chargers are, ultimately they're charging pretty hard, and these batteries can handle that. But if you want to baby the battery, then probably better off not to fast charge it, to try to get as many cycles as you can. So you can replace this with a solar brick, and the solar brick would take a pair of 12 volt panels in parallel to get you 180 watts. Normally that's 200 watts STC, but in reality, you probably won't be over 180. So if you put 2 12 volt panels in parallel and you got direct sun, maybe you're going to get 180 watts through that unit, but it's $170 plus tax for just that piece. So that's another consideration. So anyways, that's some of the strengths and weaknesses of the unit. In this case, I got 4 7.5 amp hour batteries on here, so that's about 1,500 watt hours of capacity. And so if you burn through that, and then you have extra batteries on hand that you can swap right in there, gives the unit quite a lot of capability. And I love the build quality on that. Can't say enough about it. The materials and the design is really, really nice and rugged, and I do appreciate that. It also gives you rain covers that you can put on the intake and exhaust port if you happen to be using it outdoors when there's rain or snow blowing around. That about wraps it up. If you guys have any questions, please post them up. Thank you.